Hey, how you going, Danny?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good to have you back. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but you've certainly managed to fit a bit in that time.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been that long, and yeah, it's good to get some new music out. We're very happy with how the last single went. You haven't heard of me yet. That did. We took a bit of time off in the last year, so it was great to know that people hadn't forgotten us and they were still willing to listen to our music, and it actually did really well. So we've followed it up with the other song that we spent a lot of time at with Rod McCormack, getting the sound and the production just right. And yeah, so now we've got a new one coming out now.
Yes, don't you ever wonder why? And also another wonderful song. How is it going for you? It's hard when you have such a great that single that released when we had you onto the show a few months ago. That went so well. Does that make it more pressure for you when you've got another one coming, or are you just happy?
Oh no, I just hope that that not pressure. Actually, I just think that hopefully that'll open more doors for people. Will see our name and think, oh yeah, I heard that song. I'll listen to the other song, and hopefully opens doors for more radio stations to play it, and yeah, more people to follow us and on social media and know what we're doing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, we're not a band that feels pressure. We just like to get out there and do what we do, which is fun, and we really enjoy playing, and we like nothing better than getting some new music out.
Absolutely. And do you guys collaborate as a team? Like, I know you had Rod he did this single and he did the previous one. Do you guys do that as a team, like who you're going to work with for each song, or how do you guys handle those?
Well, look, we haven't really. We started with Rod, and we haven't seen any reason to move away. Yeah, I think mainly because we're progressing as a band, and I think we've really coalesced as we're always good musicians, but we've really coalesced as a band now. A couple of the band members came from not so country backgrounds, so they've it's been a learning curve for some of them. We also have a new member in Brandon Smith, because we lost one of our initial members, Ian, who's still writing and playing music. He just, because of his hearing, he can't play in a loud band anymore.
That would be very hard for him.
Yeah, it was very hard, but we're still collaborating. He and I still work on songs together. We're still writing lyrics together. He sends me songs he's writing, and I send him songs, and we just go, oh yeah, I like that. Why don't you try this? So he's still very much part of the two-tone pony stable, so we say. So yes, and yeah, this one is. And the band does collaborate a lot more. When I was first writing, I probably said this before, I used to be fairly precious about my songs, and I'd have them all demoed out how I thought everyone should be doing and what parts they should be doing. Now I do much more stripped back demos of my songs, send them out to the band a couple of weeks beforehand so they can have a listen, and then we get together and we start working on the song. And it brings a much better cohesive effort from everyone if they can put their input into it. And that's what working in a band's all about, is everyone, the parts coming together to make one big unit. And I really think that that's where at the stage we're at now. So with Rod, who's been with us at the same time, he's seen us progress like that. And I think these new songs really show the musicianship, the arrangement, the singing and the harmonies of the band, and now it is really very strong.
It's interesting, isn't it? Having, even though you guys as a band, you've all come from different backgrounds and done so much musically that you all bring a different side of music to make that sound. So having that a bit more collaborative would change how it would.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's really important to have varying influences, and that's what we're after. So that's what gives that little bit of extra, the individuality of the band. I mean, you want to have something that's a little unique for your own sound, and that's what we hope we bring as a band now, because everyone is getting their input.
Absolutely. And I think that's the thing in music now. I think in modern music is there's so many places for us to come across a new artist or a new band, and so people have so many options that those unique things are what draws people in, those different sounds that no other band can have, because you're all unique and you all bring something to it, so it becomes your strength and what your audience are looking for.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you're starting out. I mean, you want to be doing your own thing. You got to be true to yourself and believe in what you're doing. You shouldn't be trying to copy anybody else or follow the trend, because if you're following that trend, well, that's already there. By the time you get on the bandwagon, it'll be run.
Yes.
So you just got to do your own thing. And obviously you have your influences. We all have our musical heroes or our influences. And that's great, but you're always going to reinterpret that in your own way.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be imitating. You should be just learning from it and saying, what can I do? And how's that going to morph into what, my strengths are?
Absolutely. And I think that's how music evolves, isn't it? In any genre, that's what you have to keep moving forward. You don't want it to be all the same, because you certainly get very sick of it if it's the same thing over and over. So
well, that's right, and I think that's very important. I mean, I think there is a difference. You haven't heard of me yet was a pretty a guitar-driven song, very guitar-driven song, whereas this is not so much. This is very much, it has a guitar, but it's got the fiddle and the keyboards. Are very much and of course we've got Rod McCormack playing fantastic banjo on it as well. So that really. It almost gives it a slightly folky feeling in coming into, or Americana, I suppose, feeling coming into the choruses in particular. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, Americana definitely, with the banjo coming in there, and that to me, I love it when there's a song with fiddle and banjo. I just love all the different sounds. You can't listen to it enough. It's such a lovely.
No, that's right. You can't. Yeah, exactly right.
And we were talking before we went live. When we had you last time, you were getting ready to go for surgery, and you're on the mend, and
on the mend. I've had my right shoulder reconstruction, a couple of the tendons done and repositioned, and so I'm still in a sling. I got another week and a half to go, and then I suppose, the hard business of the physio, getting it all moving and everything again. So I'll be able to, play a guitar then, and for a little while, but it'll be a couple of months before we're going to be thinking about recording or playing again. I mean, we haven't really booked any gigs until September, so I've got a bit of time off. Yeah,
that's a good idea, and it's nice to have a bit of downtime as well, because you're very busy in general in all your life. I remember from talking about last time. So,
well, that's right. I am. I've got a trip booked to Scotland in the middle of August, actually. So I've got to be fit enough to go away. I've always wanted to go to the Edinburgh Tattoo, so I'm going to that, and then we're going to the Orkney and Shetland Islands for 10 days. So something a bit different, because I've been to Scotland quite a few times. I love the country and your ancestry from Scotland and all that sort of stuff, and so that'll be a nice little holiday after all of this, the surgery. Hopefully be
how beautiful. I've always wanted to go there, and actually the Shetland Islands, I remember I've wanted to go there since I was a very small girl, because when we were kids, my dad bought home a puppy when I was in grade 2, and he was a miniature collie, but over there they call them Shetland sheepdogs, because that's so ever since hearing about that is when I've always wanted to go. So I'll be watching your page for photos and the trip and seeing how it goes for you.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is, when I first started talking about I was going to go to Shetland, turns out that Brandon, our new member, has real roots from Shetland. I think his grandmother came from Shetland, and he has been back there with his family, like with his mum and that, gone back to Shetland to meet relatives over there. So how amazing, eh?
It's such a small world, isn't it? It's such a big world, but such a small world. Yeah, we all cross paths in different ways. In the time that you've had off, have you had a bit of time to, probably, I know you can't play, but have you been doing much writing in between? No,
I haven't, because I always write with a guitar in my hand.
Wonders,
it always starts with the guitar, even if I've got an idea for a lyric. And sometimes I get, I'll have the idea. I know I already have a couple of lines or a verse, but then I bring it to really germinate it. I need to be sitting there with a guitar, and even when I'm writing lyrics, like fleshing out lyrics, I'll still sit there with a guitar in my lap and write them. It just, it's what it does. So it's been very frustrating that I've had the time off, but I haven't been able to utilize it in a way. I'm hoping after I get out of the sling and I can start using the guitar, I'll be able to get back into some writing, hopefully.
Yes, because I know we spoke last time because you had many years where you were working in the hospital and things, but you've written all your life, haven't you? You didn't stop writing when you were working.
Look, no, I wrote a lot when I was writing when I was in the band at university. Really, once I started studying in medicine, and you work in the emergency department, and then I was studying to become a specialist, and then you become a young specialist, and then you have a family. There wasn't much writing going on then. In fact, there wasn't even much guitar playing going on until the kids were a little bit older. And then I got back into bands and playing at that time. I really got back into writing when, after Dad died, a couple of years afterwards, we did the Slim Dusty Family Reunion album.
Yes,
and
yes.
We all decided that we should try and write original songs for it. So that's when I was still working, and I actually really tried to sit down and think, right, what am I got that's unique and something from the family? And that's why I ended up writing the song Old Purple, which was a song about Slim's car. And I wrote a couple of other songs, one of which also appeared on the record. So that gave me some confidence in the fact that I could. And then when I retired and I had the opportunity to have some more time to allow these song ideas to germinate and coalesce and then bring them to life, that's when it all started. And I made the decision that we were going to put this band together. I was going to write songs, and that was just it. So I just thought, right, I'm going to do it. And I started doing it and playing it to the guys. They were very, supportive, and we worked through some of the early stuff and thought, but that doesn't really fit with what we're trying to do. And they really helped me shape how I did write songs. And now, it's not, now I just, want to get back into it as soon as I can.
Isn't it? It's funny how it just keeps coming once you open that gate again. It's something that
and I do tend to write in fits and starts. I don't sort of write something all the time. I really do often end up writing 2 or 3 songs in a row, or sort of have them all on the boil at the same time, and they can be completely different types of songs. The last single, I had that rattling around in my head for over 2 years. I had the concept. And I had even the chorus and most of the first verse, but it took me ages to get the second verse and the bridge. In fact, I was still rewriting the lyrics the day we recorded that song. And I actually came in early and sat down with Rob McCormack and Greg Richardson, the drummer, and said, look, I'm still not happy with these couplets. What do you think? This is what I'm trying to say. And we tossed some ideas around, and then I've got it. I said, I've got it now. It's simple things like, why don't you put those 2 at the front and the other 2 at the back, and suddenly it all makes it. You just need someone else to go, but why don't you just swap it around?
Looking outside the box.
That actually happened in this song, because I've been writing, again, I had this song nearly 2 years ago. And when we go and stay at Tamworth, we stay with a good mate of mine who was also an emergency physician at Tamworth, a bloke called Phil Hungerford, who's in the folk scene. He's a very talented singer, songwriter, record producer. So I played him this song, and he said, oh, that sounds good, but you got the verses back to front. He said, you should have the last verse first and that one forward, because it'll build tension and it gets interest. And I went, yeah, you're absolutely right. That makes a lot of sense, and you just need someone else. It's good to bounce ideas off other people.
It absolutely is, and I think, and that's the same, I think, in a lot of industries, because I know when I'm writing something that to send to staff or to do, quite often I'll say, can you just read over this? And they'll be like, well, just need to move it around, and you're like, yeah, that flows now. You just don't see it when you're in that moment, I don't think. And it's
Yeah, and you just want to get it done. I've got it, I finally nutted it out. I don't have to do anything. And then you go, oh, yeah, I do. Anyway,
yeah,
it's good.
yeah, that's right. That's right. I was going to ask you, I know we touched a little bit on your songwriting last time, but you've grown up in such an iconic family, and there would, I imagine, as an individual artist, that would have been hard to break out into your own sound and things. But when you started writing, did your mum and dad teach you how to do that, or did you just develop your own style right from the beginning? Is it something?
No, I would say I just did it right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Obviously their music was just there and in my head. I knew all that music. I saw Slim take lyrics sent to him and how he edited those lyrics to fit into the music he wrote with them. So that's a great thing, because you come up with these great lyric lines yourself, but it just doesn't, it's clumsy and it just doesn't work. And you've got to be ruthless. You've got to take out, sometimes you've got to take it, oh, I love that line, but it just doesn't work in that particular song. Sometimes you can use it again, but I saw how they did that. And obviously telling a story just comes naturally, because that's the music I grew up to.
Yes, absolutely.
But the types of chord changes and stuff like that, I mean, I was heavily influenced by the Beatles. That's how I learnt to play music. I got a Beatles songwriting book and taught myself the chords, and then progressed on to Neil Young and people like that. And I really studied how they wrote songs and why do I like this song? And then when I learned how to play the song, I could really identify why that chord change, made it interesting to me. And that little extra bit they put, that just changed, that keeps the interest in the song. So I think because I was a fanatic, music fanatic, as from a kid, I started collecting LPs when I was like 7 and 8. And
I was young too,
and I all through school I had my own LPs. I had a record player stuck under my bed. So I was a student, and I actually did appreciate the songwriting and the arrangements of songs. I really loved listening to the way, why is that guitar so important? Why is the drums? I mean, I was drawn to drums. I was a drummer first before anything else. I was drawn to rhythm and the drums and the accents and all that sort of stuff. So, and then I spent a lot of time in the recording studio as a kid, watching my parents record and the band putting songs together. So, I had a lot of background to fall on, and it was a lot of this becomes unconscious, I think. Yeah.
And and it sounds like your own style naturally developed, which is
and that's good. That's what I was hoping, that my own style would come through, and I definitely think it is. I don't listen to my songs and think, oh, that's just a rip-off of something else. So it's important that you try and find your own voice.
Absolutely, very important. And that's a really good answer, because it's something that I often think when you see musical families coming through, and did any of that change, and did you develop on your own? And you can absolutely hear the difference and see the difference. But it's I think people sometimes think it's an advantage having a family that does that, but sometimes you need to be on your own to find your own path.
I think you've got lots of examples of that. And I mean, I guess because it wasn't my career, I think that allowed me to approach it in a very fresh way. I wasn't under any pressure. I wasn't trying to be Slim Dusty Jr. It was just, I wasn't doing that. And if people, want that, well, that's not what I do. I do what my father did, which was what he did his stuff and followed his own way. And that's the example he set for me. Yes. And I know he'd be thrilled that I was doing my own music and going my own way. So I absolutely acknowledge the my heritage and my background, and I'm extremely fortunate to have that in my past. And I hope that I'm now just moving that on and doing my own thing.
And yeah, absolutely, you can tell the different that you are, and you've got such a. It is such a great way to have grown up having music all around you, but it's even really nice to hear that you still found your own style with all of that, and it just shows how much music genuinely means to you as a person.
Absolutely. It's always been a constant in my life.
Yes, it's one of those things that we can't get rid of, even if we wanted to. I think once it's in us, it's in us. It's not a choice.
Yes, I think that's right. Yes,
that's for sure. So don't you ever wonder why is your current single? You as you said, you had a year off writing songs. You're heading back into the studio as soon as you're well enough. Is the plan for 2027? It's crazy that I'm saying that. It's 6 months away. Is that you're going to try and get out on the road and a bit more next year when you're all together?
Yes, we think we're really trying to make an effort next year to get out on the road and get to play. Put some time aside. I mean, we've all got family commitments and other commitments. We can't sort of take the whole 12 months and just dedicate it to the music, or we'd be divorced. So we are. It isn't a full-time commitment, but we want to commit. Batches of time where we go, right. This is it. These couple of months here, these couple of months here. We're going to really concentrate. And we're going to play as much music as we possibly can in those couple of months. And, we'll aim at some of the festivals, but even if they're not coming off, we'll go and make our own, like do a trip down to Tasmania. Love to come down, do a trip into the rural areas and organise our own shows and come down. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? No one comes and sees us, but I'm sure that someone will.
I'm very sure that they will, but if you're enjoying being on that stage and no one comes, you're still having a good time. That's the main thing.
That's right.
It's interesting, isn't it? It doesn't matter how far through a music career you get, you're always like, well, if no one comes, what happens? It's something that we all think of. Doesn't matter where you are, what level.
Doesn't matter. It's going to happen to you somewhere along the line.
Isn't it ever? Yeah. So more music, more time on the road. It sounds like you guys have got such a jam-packed the next 18 months of fun, but a holiday in Scotland beforehand. That sounds pretty perfect.
Well, I've got to get that in, yes. And I've also promised to take my 11-year-old granddaughter on a trip next year.
Oh, wonderful.
My parents took each one of their 4 grandchildren on a one-on-one trip. And we took our 12-year-old grandson to Japan with us last year for 2 weeks. And it looks like we'll be taking our 11-year-old granddaughter next year to Hawaii for a couple of weeks.
Hey, that'll be nice. Do that in the middle of the year where it's cold here, so you get a break and have some nice sun.
Well, it's got to be in school holidays, so that tells you when you're going to take it. Yes.
Yes, very true. That is the problem, isn't it? But that sounds like a horrible problem to have, having to go to
horrible.
Scotland. Right. Yes, I'm sure you'll get through it. No problems. What is the best place for us to keep up to your shows and new music? What's your most updated platform for people to keep an eye on?
Okay, well, the most updated platform is our, old school webpage. That's, that is the best way to keep it up. But we constantly will, any new shows come up that we're doing, we constantly have it on Facebook, our Facebook and Instagram page. So we use those constantly. So you can go, they're all under the Two Tone Pony, name. You'll find us on Instagram, on Facebook, and there they are flashed up our twotonepony.com, and you'll find us on that. And of course, you'll always see us. We got a YouTube channel. Gosh, I'm very lucky that my brother-in-law Greg, who is an audio engineer in his working life, so he looks after a lot of that technical stuff. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. That does make life good, doesn't it? You've got somebody.
We all bring different skills to different things, yes.
Exactly right. I've got Scott and now Craig that are absolutely wonderful at those things. So I am very grateful for them because they're the bits that I struggle with, the technical.
The tech issues.
Exactly, yes. Now, the film clip for your current single. Tell us how this one came about. Where did you record it, and how did the film clip unfold?
Well, all our film clips previously had been done by Jeremy Minute, but he's incredibly busy at the moment with Max and him racing around the world and around Australia and doing everyone's videos now. I think we were one of the first many years ago with when we did A Life Well Lived. So we really thought, okay, let's give it a go ourselves. So we used Greg. So where it's all shot on our drummer, Greg Richardson's acreage on the way to McMaster's Beach. That's where our rehearsal studio is, at the back of his house. Excuse me. And so between Greg and I, we did all the videoing. It's all done on iPhones.
On iPhones, really?
Yeah, all done on iPhones. You can get really high definition on iPhones. We did have a drone. Graham has a drone, so he put up a drone, did a few shots for us as well. But I got to give all the credit to Greg Richardson. He edited it all. He put it all together. He synced all the music. He's done a fantastic job in putting it all together for us. So it's a bit of fun doing it ourselves. Yeah.
I actually did not pick that you guys did that yourself. I thought it was great. And on an iPhone, because the footage in the clip is really clear. It's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
Very, very,
where the water is and they're playing fiddle, is that on the property?
Yes.
Or is that right?
Yeah, they got a little dam there that Brandon almost stepped backwards into during one of the scenes. And if you actually look carefully when he's in one of the parts where he's doing a bit of a solo, you'll see a kookaburra flying right past his head in the background. There's a very tame kookaburra there that they nicknamed Lola. And Lola took exception to the drone that was being used. And so she got a bit cranky. She dive bombed Brandon's head. I actually put a post up on Facebook of it, and so then we did slow motion, so you could see the kookaburra go whoa, right past it. Yeah.
I love that. That is definitely putting it to the test for music. Putting yourself in the.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The blooper reel. Yeah.
The blooper reel. Oh, I love blooper reels. Absolutely. So, what a wonderful thing. And I was going to ask where the studio was. So that's your rehearsal studio that you were in playing there. So
That's right. That's where we rehearse now and put everything together. And Greg's got it set up as, he can record our songs because we play, everything through a proper setup and amp. So it all goes through a control desk. So he can actually record our songs as we rehearse them and say, okay, let's put this demo down so everyone can take it away and work on it or think about differences. In fact, we actually recorded a little cover version of a song with Brandon singing. We put it up for people to listen to on the website. So, yeah, and he's good.
Film there as well. When you were rehearsing, you recorded that one.
Yeah, it was a bit of fun. We just did one and put it up, and but the good thing is, we can leave our instruments set up there, and it's a very secure place, and we don't have to lug our amplifiers and stuff around all the time.
A lot easier, and obviously, there's a bit of land around, so you can be as loud as you like.
There was a bit of land around, and he renovated the shed, and so it's it's all sound insulated and etc.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a great idea! What a great thing to have to be able.
It's a great facility to have your own rehearsal studio. I can tell you. Yes, yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Well, thank you so much for coming back. I absolutely love having you guys every time. It's I love hearing the stories and how your music's unfolding and even how you're going from song to song. Have you had a lot of feedback for this single yet from people?
Well, no, it's not released for another 2 days, so you're getting a bit of a
just a
sneak preview.
Have you played it live at all before, though? Was it in your set?
We have played it live before. Yeah, we played it live before, and we had a very good response to it. Yeah,
I thought it
it's always good to try these things out on a live audience, and here's a new song, and people are still interested or on the dance floor or whatever. So we had good feedback from that.
And I love the little teasers and things as you go along too, and I think you get a lot of feedback from that as well.
You do.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's so interesting when I have been working with artists on a single that we've released teasers and little snippets, and the feedback you get from those snippets, and then compare it to when the full song comes out. I always love seeing those people and whether it was what they expected from the next part of the song. They're the fun bits to look at.
Suddenly you see it all gel together and how it all runs, and then you can catch the narrative of the lyrics. You're just getting this snatch and a bit of instrumental and a bit of the chorus. Yeah, that's good. It builds up interest, and people are, well, it's very exciting. Only basically another 24, 36 hours, and we'll have it out there for everyone to listen to in entirety.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you would like, everybody, there is a QR code that you guys can scan and do all your pre-saves, pre-orders, all the things that we do in the music industry now. And if you follow Two Tone Pony on social media, you will be able to see what's coming next and try and get to a show if you're nearby. We did see before that you've got a festival coming up later in the year. Tickets are still available for that, I think, aren't they, for that one?
Yes, the tickets are up and available now. Yep, for the country music muster. Yep, so that's up and going.
That one has a wonderful lineup. It's going to be a great weekend for you guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of great artists that I'm going to catch up with there. It'll be fabulous. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time. I love having you, and I hope that the next week or two gets your shoulder back on so you can get back into playing again and be ready for Scotland.
Yeah, exactly right. I'll be really, really pleased about it there. So great talking to you again, Danni. Most enjoyable, and all the best to you and everyone out there watching. And hopefully, sometime in the next 18 months, we might get a chance to get down to Tassie and play, and also anywhere else around Australia. We're going to hopefully catch up with a few more people.
Absolutely. We cannot wait. Well, thank you, everybody, again. We will see you all next week. Stay safe, and we'll see you then. See you guys.
See you later.